Anthropic just released Skills for Claude and ClaudeCode, which is a killer way to give both Claude and ClaudeCode additional context and instructions for everything that it does. And in this video, we're going to walk through how to create a new skill in your Claude account, why it's important for everyday tasks, and how it's going to change the results you get from any kind of AI interaction, whether it's in Claude or ClaudeCode. Hey, I'm Craig Hewitt. Welcome back to 100 Days of AI. Let's check out the announcement from Anthropic, and then we're going to build a skill, and we're going to do kind of a before and after test on a couple of prompts to show how different the results are using a skill inside the Claude dashboard. Okay, so here we are, anthropic.com/news. A skill can use skills to improve how it performs specific tasks. Skills are folders that include instructions, transcripts, and resources that Claude can load when needed. Pretty cool. So they have a little tutorial video here. If you want to check out where skills are, they're in the capabilities area of the settings screen inside your Claude dashboard. Down here, it's listed as preview, and you can upload a skill. You might be wondering, hey, how do I upload a skill? How do I make a skill? Let me tell you. So there's some documentation around how to create a skill here. A skill is a markdown file, first and foremost. And in this support doc here, they have a couple of examples from Anthropic's own GitHub page. And we're going to use one of the examples that they created as kind of a template. And you go create your own skills for your business and how you use Claude or ClaudeCode. Either way, we're just going to use one of them here. Okay, and to give you a before and after view of what the result of an interaction with is in Claude before and after a skill, we're going to use this internal comms skill. So let's take a look at it real quick and then go run a prompt in Claude without it, and then we'll run and we'll do that, okay? Let's get to before as a set of resources to help me write all kinds of internal communications using the formats that my company likes to use. Claude should use this skill whenever asked to write some sort of internal communication, like a status report. Cool, okay, so let's go back to Claude. We don't have any skills here, and we're using Claude Sonnet 4.5. Okay, so let's see the kinds of things that, so a status report. Write a status report to my manager on an update as to where the skills project is inside my company. The skills project is delayed by 3 weeks because the engineering team fell behind and design didn't have the resources that it needed. Additionally, marketing is just not prepared. And in general, it feels like the office around here. Okay, so using Super Whisper to speak into the computer. And we'll capitalize the office here. Okay, so pretty vague, and let's see what Claude has to do here. So pretty vague prompt here. It is, you might have missed it, it was looking for a skill. Reading the doc skill documentation and best practices for, okay, cool. Oh, it already has these skills. All right, so cool. It's already reading these skills from the GitHub repo. That is pretty interesting. Reading the complete doc.js.md file for syntax. Super interesting. So if we go in here, I bet if we go to the examples, it's reading some of these examples. That is super interesting. Wow, why is it running Python or JavaScript code to create a status report? That is wild. So, I mean, already you can see how much more powerful the skills are just because it's kind of using so much more resources, has so much more context than just creating a bunch of text. Okay. And it's opening the canvas over here as like a doc for me to take a look at this status update that it created. Cool. So pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Well, I guess this kind of ruins my before and after because I was going to upload this internal comms skill and give it kind of a before and after. But let's take a look at the document. It just did a great job because it called the skill. So I don't know if you can see reading the docx skill documentation, understand best practices for creating a professional, right? So this is a public skill already. So pretty cool that all of the skills that Anthropic has and has access to are going to be loaded automatically, even if you don't create a new one. So if you're like, hey, that's cool. I know like the thing I'm about to do has a skill associated with it. You can just expect it to be better coming out of Claude, even if you don't do anything. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let's look at the documentation to see how we can create a skill for something different. Okay, so every skill consists of a directory containing a minimum of a .md file, which is the core of the skill. The file must start with a YAML formatter to hold name and description fields, which are required metadata. It can also have additional metadata, blah, 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 name, description, and then optional meta fields like dependencies and the body. Okay, so cool. So it just gives us an example skill.md file here. So let's copy this, and we're going to open up our editor, and we're just going to adjust this, and then we're going to test this, okay? I have my editor here. Let's drop this in, and let's give this a name called Castos Brand Guidelines. Description, apply Castos Brand Guidelines to all presentations and documents. Okay, so I'm just going to edit this real quick. We'll fast forward this. Okay, so I've updated this file. So we have metadata up here, which is the name and a description. And I've given it a bit of overview over where and how and when this should be used. And I've given it the colors of Castos. So my company is called Castos. I've updated the fonts. Actually, let's do enter, and let's do canon, because that's what we do. Okay, H1, body 11. Okay, cool. Okay, so we've saved this. We need to put this in a folder. And so I'll do that, and then we'll upload this to the skills area in Claude. But first, let's run a prompt in Claude that should not use this skill, and then we'll upload the skill and run the same prompt and see what the difference is, okay? Okay, so pretty straightforward prompt here. Create a presentation for Castos that highlights our main features. Reading the PowerPoint skill file. Man, again, it's already looking for skills over here. Pretty interesting. You got to believe that they're going to have a ton of skills. Oh, so it's already got this skill file here. Pretty interesting. It's foiled me again. So yeah, pretty interesting. But we walked through how you can create a skill. It's just a markdown, and it has the template for it here. You just need the metadata. You have the name, a description, overview, and then the contents, and then like where you use this. Always use full color. Okay, so this is probably going to do it, but it doesn't know. Oh, it doesn't know my brand colors. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But you can see it's already applying these skills as it's creating this. So it's pretty interesting. I'll be keen to see if it knows our colors and fonts and things like that, because it surely is going out and kind of researching our website and our brand. We're a reasonably established brand, so it has a lot of information about us and everything to where I might not need to give it this information. It'll be interesting to see how it does kind of one-shotting this without the skill, because it seems like it's already referencing this PowerPoint skill file. So I'll be curious to see, and drop a comment in below as you're playing around with Claude going forward. Are you seeing it reference an existing skill if you haven't uploaded your own custom one? That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, like it's doing research about our WordPress integration, creating a shared CSS file with brands and typography. That'll be interesting. What is, I don't know what this color is. Yeah, super interesting. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. You know, I have to say, I've not had Claude create a presentation for me before, but this is really robust. This is the kind of like overachiever kind of thing I would expect from ChatGPT, which is a negative thing. I don't like that ChatGPT is such a try hard these days, especially ChatGPT 5. But this is really extensive. It's obviously doing a bunch of research about my brand. It knows a lot about like what makes us unique: unlimited hosting, WordPress integration, YouTube, monetization, transcripts, free podcast website. Like it already knows a ton about us in just a 8-word prompt or whatever that was. That's pretty impressive. Like I wonder, I've never done this before in Claude. I wonder how much of this it has to do with the skills and the detail that it's giving it. But it should be done here in just a second, and we'll take a look. But you see it's got like version control, running JavaScript and stuff. Like pretty incredible what it's doing with just a one-line prompt. Simplifying layout on slide 5. This is still running. It's been probably 5 minutes that it's been running. So I came over here to look at the skill, And it has all these scripts inside this. This is just the PowerPoint skill. So it has these Python scripts to reformat and rearrange things. So this is pretty interesting. So like this is all running over here as it's going because there's like overflow on a slide and stuff like that. So it's running all these scripts to fix the layout problems, and it's coming from this skill, right, already. So like this is built into kind of all of Claude. Anytime you tell it to create a presentation, it's going to call this skill and run these scripts if it needs to. So rearrange, replace, thumbnail, converting HTML to PowerPoint. Pretty incredible, right? So let's look at the skill itself while this is working. A user may ask you to create, edit, or analyze contents of a PowerPoint file. It's a zip containing XML files. You have to run this script. Pretty incredible. Unpack it, right? So it's pretty cool how it's, this is built into Claude. This is not a custom one that we built. And it's asking, it's giving Claude specific instructions on how to handle this one unique use case and kind of scenario. And so this is how you would think about a skill. Like if you're running into a situation where Claude doesn't handle something well, create a skill to kind of patch that shortcoming is kind of how I think about it. Or if it's already doing okay, but it could do a lot better, you just create a skill, and then every time going forward, it would do that kind of better version of the job. Pretty incredible. I will say like 39 steps trying to fix this one slide. I just want to say like, dude, come on, like quit trying so hard. Yeah, it's just really something. Like these skills are new. So it's interesting to see how long this is taking to create this presentation. This might be one of the harder things that Claude does. I'm not really sure, but it sure is giving it the old college try. So it's on slide 9, so it should be pretty much done. Okay, so it's just wrapping up here, and it's created this presentation for me. It took about 15 minutes, no joke. I paused the recording, and it took a really long time. Okay, so the skill that it has doesn't match our brand guidelines. We don't use orange at all. It gets kind of the content right here for sure, but it doesn't have the styling at all. So yeah, that's great. Like it gets all the content right, which is not surprising. Like it knows a lot about us. Okay, so I'm going to upload a skill. We're going to rerun this, and I'll just come back when it's done, and we'll take a look at what the difference is, because this is definitely not our primary color. I want to see if it gets if our colors correct once I've uploaded the skill. So let's go into the settings area. Go to capabilities. Okay. Gosh, this is so new that since I was here, you have the ability to turn on and off all these different skills. So this is literally this is happening as I'm recording this video. So these skills can be turned on and off as you want. And so I wonder if we can come in and edit this. Nope. Yeah, I don't want to do this. I don't want these skills. Gosh, this is all happening live while I'm at it. So, okay, I'm just going to stop here because this is literally like they're pushing this code. This wasn't here when we started this video 15 minutes ago. So this is all happening real time. Check out skills. The announcement will be linked in the description below. The GitHub repo that has examples of all these skills will be linked in the description below. We are literally recording this video as they're pushing this live. So this is all happening real time. So I can't really even test this because they're just pushing stuff live as we go. But suffice to say that I think skills give us a really competitive advantage in Claude, which is quickly becoming an LLM and a platform that I love, especially ClaudeCode, to give very specific instructions to the platform when you want to do a specific thing. And I think this is somewhere we would have used like a GPT or a project or something, but skills apply everywhere in Claude Chat and in ClaudeCode. So this really could be a game changer for getting the most out of Claude that you can. I'm Craig Hewitt. This is 100 Days of AI. Thanks for sticking with me. I know this is a bit of a tumultuous road because they're literally rolling this out as we go. Like this screen here didn't exist when I started recording this video. So this is real time as this is happening. I hope you're enjoying. Please like, subscribe, smash the bell, share with a friend, and I'll see you tomorrow.